Gibson, Claremore High School drama teacher. This is week 7, our last video. Um, this week's reading really took me a minute. The paradox of method acting. So, basically, I'm looking at this through the lens of what I need to do as a high school drama teacher, working with people that are 14 to 18 years old. And I think some of these theoretical concepts are great. I think the work of some of the European theaters mentioned in this chapter is fascinating, especially because they were behind the Iron Curtain. They were in a very censored and in controlled environment, and they found ways to still find messages to reach their audience in new and different ways. So the paradox is that you are you. You are however old you are, where you came from, your life experiences, your personality, all of that is you. And you're bringing that to a character in a production. So there's this paradox. You're you, but you're playing someone else. How do you bring that to life? And the chapter mentions that there were basically 3 different Stanislavskis. There was the early Stanislavski when he was figuring things out, talking about effective memory and trying to find truth in performance, trying to break away from that late 19th century acting, the declaiming, the posing, and he was trying to find the truth. And that was his mission. And he was very focused on that. Then after that, you had the Russian Revolution in 1917 and the rise of the Soviet Union, and all they would permit in their theaters at that time was Soviet realism. And so that's the system that Stanislavski is working on for many years. And then there's the Stanislavski beyond the Iron Curtain and how it affects American acting. This chapter talks a lot about Brecht as well. I like Brecht. I think Brecht is fun. I've done a production of Three Penny Opera, and I've done a whole class on Brechtian acting. And that idea of the duality, what Brecht called the dialectic, is, you are the character, you are the actor, but we want you to comment as the actor on the character. So that idea makes sense to me because I've studied it. I think what this chapter was really talking about is, that same paradox that you are an actor and a character at the same time. I think he's just trying to relate it to how it affects the method and the Stanislavski system. He acknowledges that Stella Adler and Sanford Meisner and Anne Strasberg all address this idea of duality, and it's something that is just part of who we are. So yes, you want to bring your full self to your performance. You want to bring all of your faculties to what you're doing as an actor, but you also want to portray the character in a way that is believable. So it was a tough chapter, but it was good. I'm glad I read it. Sometimes I think theater theory is kind of, snobby, but it got better as the essay went on. I liked learning about the other theater companies that I'd never heard of before, and Vaclav Havel and all those in the chapter that I just never had heard of that. So it makes me want to do some more digging. But it was a great chapter. Thank you, Ruby, for being our teacher, and that's me.